Hey pickle lovers! Ever wondered how your garden cucumber turns into that tangy pickle you can't stop snacking on? Well, get ready to uncover the surprising secrets of pickle factories. From high-pressure jets to wooden lids. Yes, wooden lids. We're taking you behind the scenes for the crunchiest journey ever. Stick around and by the end, you'll be the ultimate pickle pro and the hero of your next barbecue. Ever wonder why cucumber farmers look like they're in a constant state of panic? Well, let's take a trip to Plainview, Texas and find out. Picture this. A sea of green stretching as far as the eye can see. That's a cucumber farm. And it's about to get wild. Now, you might think farming is all about patience, but when it comes to cucumbers, it's more like a high-stakes race against the clock. These farmers are gearing up for what we call the Great Cucumber Rush, and they've got some serious help. Massive harvesting machines that can scoop up 50,000 pounds of cucumbers in just 1 hour. But here's the kicker. They've only got 24 hours to pick the entire field. Why the crazy rush? Well, Mother Nature's got her own schedule. Leave those cucumbers too long and they'll grow bigger than you'd ever want in a pickle jar. It's like a vegetable version of a ticking time bomb, but with less explosion and more oversized salad ingredients. Picture this. Farmers working around the clock, machines rumbling through the fields, and cucumbers flying left and right. These farmers are locked in an epic battle against time, trying to beat nature's clock before their cucumbers turn into oversized green clubs. Now, let's talk about the unsung heroes of this cucumber chaos, bees. These buzzy little friends are crucial for pollinating the cucumber flowers. Without them, we'd have no cukes to pick in the first place. So next time you see a bee, give it a little nod of appreciation. Just don't try to high-five it. That probably won't end well. And don't forget about the weather. Cucumber farmers have to be part-time meteorologists too. Too much rain, and the cucumbers might rot. Not enough, and they won't grow properly. It's like trying to keep a goldfish alive, but on a massive scale and with way more at stake. The time of day for harvesting matters too. Farmers often prefer to pick in the early morning when the cucumbers are nice and crisp. It's like giving those cukes their very own spa treatment before sending them off to become pickles. But the fun doesn't stop when the cucumbers leave the farm. Once they're picked, these soon-to-be pickles are rushed off to processing facilities faster than you can say dill. They've got to get there quick, or else they might start to spoil. It's like a vegetable version of The Amazing Race, but with less arguing and more brining. So the next time you're munching on a pickle, think about those farmers in Texas, working their green-thumbed magic to get those cukes from field to factory in record time. It's a pickle-perfect example of how sometimes good things come to those who don't wait. You've seen car washes, but how about a cucumber wash? Believe it or not, these soon-to-be pickles get their own bubbly adventure, and trust me, it's way more intense than you might think. Our cucumbers have just arrived at the factory, fresh from their whirlwind harvest in the fields. But hold on a second, these veggies aren't quite ready for their pickle transformation yet. They're still covered in dirt and debris from their journey. So how do we get them pickle ready? Enter the cucumber car wash. No, really. Let's take a peek at this vegetable spa. First up, we've got these high-powered water jets. Think of them as tiny fire hoses, but instead of putting out flames, they're blasting away dirt. These jets are no joke. They've got enough pressure to clean every nook and cranny of our cucumber friends without damaging their delicate skin. Watch as the cucumbers take a wild ride through this watery obstacle course. They're spinning, tumbling, and getting sprayed from every angle. It's like a roller coaster, but instead of screaming teenagers, we've got rotating vegetables. Who knew getting clean could be so much fun? But wait, there's more. Some factories have added air bubble washing techniques to their arsenal. These bubbles work like tiny scrub brushes, getting into all those hard-to-reach spots. And to make sure our cucumbers are not just clean, but squeaky clean, they add a bit of chlorine to the wash water. Don't worry, it's not enough to turn your future pickles into pool toys. It's just the right amount to ensure proper sanitation during the cleaning process. After their spa treatment, these cucumbers come out looking fresh and ready for their next adventure. But the factory isn't done with them yet. Now it's time for a little cucumber sorting. The clean cucumbers are checked for size, with only the most uniform specimens making it to the next round. It's like cucumber high school. Only the cool cukes get picked for the pickling team. You might think all this washing uses a ton of water, and you'd be right. But here's a cool fact. Many factories are hip to the whole sustainability thing. They've set up recycling systems to minimize waste, so the water that cleaned your future pickle might go on to clean hundreds more. Talk about efficient. So next time you crunch into a pickle, remember the wild ride it took to get so fresh and clean. From high-powered jets to bubbly baths, these cucumbers go through quite the adventure before they even start their pickling journey. Now that our cucumbers are squeaky clean, you might think they're ready to eat. But hold your horses. These veggies are about to embark on a 3-week adventure that'll transform them from bland to grand. How do millions of cucumbers become pickles at once? Let's dive in and find out. First up, we've got to mix up the special pickle potion. The recipe is simple. 10 parts water, 1 part salt, and half a part sugar. But don't go trying this at home just yet. The water needs to be purified, boiled, and cooled first. This brine is the secret sauce that'll turn our cucumbers into tangy treats. The salt preserves, the sugar balances, and the water carries it all through. Check out the pickle pools. These aren't your average backyard swimming pools. They're massive tanks built for cucumber transformation. Each tank can hold a whopping 9,900 cucumbers. That's about 45,000 pounds of future pickles. And get this, there are 800 of these tanks in the factory. Do the math, and you'll find they can pickle up to 35 million pounds of cucumbers at once. Now it's time for the cucumbers to take the plunge. Watch as thousands of cucumbers get dumped into each tank. But here's a funny thing, they don't sink. Nope, these little green guys float right to the top. We can't have our pickles sunbathing though. They need to be fully submerged to soak up all that tangy goodness. That's where the wooden lids come in. These heavy-duty pickle pushers gently nudge the cucumbers down into the brine. Over the next 3 weeks, during the warm summer months, our cucumbers will slowly transform into pickles. They're busy soaking up all the flavors from the brine, but there's more going on than just flavor absorption. Inside those tanks, a process called lactic acid fermentation is taking place. It's like a natural alchemy. The cucumber's own sugars are turning into lactic acid, giving pickles their signature sour taste. To help speed up this process, the factory workers have a few tricks. Sometimes they trim the cucumbers or poke tiny holes in them. This isn't cucumber torture, it's actually helping them soak up the brine better. Think of it like giving the cucumbers little straws to drink up all that tangy goodness. As the weeks go by, you'll notice the cucumbers changing. Their texture starts to shift, becoming crunchier. Their color deepens from bright green to that classic pickle shade. And of course, their flavor transforms from mild and fresh to bold and tangy. It's like watching a cucumber metamorphosis. So next time you bite into a pickle and pucker up, you'll know exactly why. After 3 weeks of pickle puberty, our cucumbers have grown up. But how do they make the leap from tank to jar? Let's dive into the high-speed world of pickle processing. First up, we've got to fish those pickles out of their brine bath. The factory uses a cool gadget called a digger. It's like a giant conveyor belt with tiny cups attached. These cups scoop up the pickles and carry them out of the tank. It's super efficient and precise, moving hundreds of pickles in no time. Now that our pickles are out of the tank, they're ready for their close-up. Workers inspect each pickle to make sure they're perfect. No wonky shapes or off colors allowed here. Only the best pickles make it to the next stage. It's like a pickle beauty pageant, but every contestant is a winner. Next up, it's time for pickle packing perfection. The pickles need to be arranged neatly in jars. The factory makes sure each jar has the same amount of pickles. After all, nobody wants to open a jar and find only a few lonely pickles inside. Now, let's talk about sealing the deal. Once the pickles are in their jars, it's time to close them up tight. The factory uses special machines to create an airtight seal. It's like giving each jar its own tiny spacesuit. But wait, there's more. Even with that airtight seal, the pickles aren't quite ready yet. Next, they take a trip to the pickle sauna. Okay, it's not really a sauna, but it is pretty hot. The jars go through a process called pasteurization. They're heated up to kill off any harmful bacteria that might have snuck in. This step is super important because it keeps the pickles safe to eat and helps them last longer on the shelf. It's like each jar gets its own protective armor. Finally, it's time for the pickles to get dressed up for their trip to the store. The jars get labels slapped on them, telling you all about the delicious pickles inside. Then, they're packed into boxes by more clever machines. These packing machines are designed to keep the jars safe during their journey. After all, we don't want any pickle jars breaking in transit. And there you have it. From brine bath to store shelf, our pickles have made quite the journey. Next time you grab a jar of pickles, you'll know all the care and hard work that went into making them just right for you to enjoy. Let's wrap up our pickle adventure. From farm to jar, these little green wonders go through quite a journey. That 3-week brine bath is where the magic happens. But there's more to pickles than just taste. These tangy treats are packed with probiotics, making them good for your gut health. And hey, did you know November 14th is National Pickle Day in the US? Mark your calendars. Next time you munch on a pickle, think about its journey from high-pressure washes to speedy packaging. With varieties like bread and butter and kosher dills, there's a pickle for everyone. So enjoy that crunchy bite and share your new pickle expertise at your next barbecue. You're now a pickle pro.